Believe what you see, darling. 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 Believe what you see, darling.
crevices of my body, like dirt packed under my fingernails. Instead, I'm trying to keep it, save it, store it, remember it, and not forget. Keep it in jars that fill the corners of my room, jars that I'll one day give to you.
A ball of light fills my room, dances in without a tune, but banging drums overhead pin me down on my bed. Open up my mouth to scream, are my parents proud of me? Mother, Father, can I lie between your bodies tonight? Are the gods just playing games, rolling stone down sky lanes? Count the seconds, 1, 2, 3, miles away, but coming for me. Open up my mouth to scream, are my parents proud of me? Mother, Father, can I lie between your bodies tonight? Can I grow up, be a man? It's been like this since time began. And maybe if I hum along, it would soothe me into a ball of light fills my room. If I danced, would it dance too? And with the sheets from the bed, I could scare the storm instead. Open up my mouth to scream, are my parents proud of me? Mother, Father, can I lie between your bodies tonight?
Do you blame yourself? Well, it's quite common in this situation for a patient to feel a kind of guilt. What situation? It's very common for people to invent blame or create a causality when in reality, it's completely out of your control.
What?
Oh, do I say it?
Oh, no, I do. So
I
excited.
was like prepared. I have a line.
When you look in the mirror, what thoughts or feelings come up?
When I look in the mirror, especially during dance, I get very obsessed over what I look like. I think there's a lot of body checking issues that occur like within dancers and dancers' brains, and just the want to see yourself constantly is an issue with, I think, everyone. When I look in the mirror, I feel sometimes disturbed by the fact that like I'm even existing. Like seeing yourself in a mirror is so strange sometimes, and like to see another person is so strange. And I feel very like confused a lot of the times whenever I like get caught up like looking at myself in the mirror, or kind of like perceiving the fact that like I'm a person, or that like I walk through life like this is like my vessel that I carry, like my body.
Can you describe a moment when you felt completely disconnected from your body, maybe like it wasn't yours?
I often feel most disconnected from my body when we are in these late rehearsals and I've been dancing all day and I just am too tired to really focus on connecting with my body, and sometimes I'll feel really overwhelmed with trying to get all the movement correctly, but finding peace within my body and using the time to really feel grounded into the floor really helps.
Are there specific parts of your body you fixate on, and how has that impacted your mental space in a dance setting?
I definitely would say it's quite a simple yet complex answer, but my stomach. I think it's common, the turning to the side, flipping up the shirt, having your thinner outfits or your thinner leotards or your leotards that don't make you feel as good because of the color, the shape. And we as dancers pick up on these things because we stare at mirrors all day long.
Have you ever heard comments from teachers, choreographers, or peers that shape the way you see yourself?
I feel like comments are always common, and they're not always necessarily malicious, but it can make you like more aware of like the physical state that you're in, and it can make you feel like you have like a physical like almost reputation to uphold, making you like more aware whether it was intentional or not to kind of stay in that state, I suppose. It kind of just adding a little bit of extra pressure onto that aspect, I guess.
Have you ever felt pressured from another to change the way you look?
I have felt pressure from other people to change the way I look, not really in specifically a direct way. Like I'll see other people's bodies, especially guys' bodies, and I'm like, why can't I look like that? Maybe they're like muscular, skinny, all these things, and I'm like, why can't I look like that? And as hard as I try, I can't look like that.
How does your perception of your body affect your everyday life, especially outside of dance?
Really, when I'm like changing or putting on clothes or taking a shower, or I just see myself, especially out of dance, like I can literally just be up changing, and I'm just like, wow, don't look that good. Like I could definitely change it. I could definitely look better, like stuff like that.
Do you think there's a link between control, perfectionism, and how dancers view their bodies?
Yes, I do think that there's a very strong connection, and I think every dancer has their own image of a perfect dancer's body in their head, and so that perfectionism aspect really can kick dancers in the tail sometimes, and will just cause them to constantly have that image in the back of their head every time they're dancing, and will strive them to work towards that in a healthy or unhealthy situation. It can differ.
What's a moment when your body felt like your enemy, and one where you felt like it was your home?
When I started growing, like, all the womanly features were pretty young, and over time I realized, like, I can't act a certain way and, like, dress a certain way, and it became a thing in dance where I had to cover myself up quite a bit, and it was just like, I'm born with this body, and why is it being used against me? And then when it felt like home, it was more when I got older and I realized every part of my body is taken care of, like my internal organs and like my brain, like I can't focus so deeply on the negative, and I started appreciating like what my body was doing for me.
Have you ever denied appearance-based compliments from another person?
Oh, of course. It's all the time. Like, it wasn't until recent years that I started to just be like, thank you, instead of being like, yeah, all right, so what you really think.
Was there a specific time you felt your relationship with your body shift?
Definitely during quarantine, when everything hit, everything was super isolated, and I just kind of couldn't see what was real and what wasn't. And I think that's definitely when so much started to change as far as like what I looked like.
What emotions come up when you see photos or videos of yourself dancing?
Not good ones. Anytime I watch myself dance in like any context, video, photo, whatever, even if so many people are like, oh, you look really good doing that, or like, wow, that looks really good, I will find every single imperfection and I will tear it apart piece by piece to the point to where I don't even see it as beautiful art anymore. I just see it as, that was bad, that wasn't good, do it again, do it better, change this, change that, do this differently, rather than like, oh, that was good, keep that, you know. I like how I move here. It's always, I hate this, I hate myself, I hate how I dance, change it.
If you could tell your younger dancer self one thing about body image or words of encouragement, what would it be?
Don't let what other people say about your body affect how you see your body. I was heavier as a kid, and I was chronically surrounded by people who were like, oh, you're too big to be a ballerina. Oh, you're too big to be a dancer. Oh, he's just a little pudgy kid. Like, why is he doing this? He shouldn't be going into that type of work or art form or whatever. If I could tell myself, don't listen to those people. This is what you're passionate about. This is what you want to do in your life. Stick to it. Don't let what other people say break you down.
Can you recall a specific memory where somebody made a comment about your body that stuck with you?
A specific memory somebody once made was that I had an instructor in the past. I struggled with what kind of dancer I was because I was always so muscular or bigger than the average ballet dancer. And it wasn't until she called me a more athletic built or muscular dancer that I realized that my body there wasn't something wrong with it. There was just, I had more muscle, I was stronger in different ways, so I was able to do other stuff that a lot of other more ballistic style dancers couldn't do.
What does healing or making peace with your body feel like to you right now?
Healing and making peace with my body is healing and making peace with my mind. My mind and my thoughts are the thing that make negativity towards my body. I know that to the standard eye, I look fit, I'm your average fit, but my brain will go, well, you're not tall enough to do this, you're not small enough to do this, or you're not big enough to do this. It's learning that while I may not reach those height requirements, that weight requirement, whatever it may be, that I'm still beautiful, and that makes me a beautiful dancer. I might not be able to put my leg at a 180, but I can bend in half and hold up my fellow dancer or person and look strong while doing it and be stable underneath them.
How does social media impact your perception of your body as a dancer?
I think when we look at dancers that we idolize on the internet every day, we don't realize how it's affecting us in the moment. When we're watching a video, at least for me, I don't feel like that's when I feel inferior or not enough because of the way I look. It's as time goes by and day after day watching those videos and comparing myself to them, and then I'm sitting in class thinking, why don't my legs look like that? That's when it starts to be crucial or be negative to myself.
you blame yourself? It was completely out of your control.
Thank you guys so much for coming. To put your whole self on stage and then have it give back to you changes you and heals you in a way that you didn't know you needed. So I thank every single one of you who made this process happen, who saw this, who witnessed it, who made it who it was. So thank you all. Also, forgot to mention a little activity. If you would like to, I have markers. If you would like to write one non-appearance-based positive affirmation on the mirror, you're more than welcome to do so. Thank you guys all for coming, and much love.